Good morning, family. Welcome back to Truthville, USA. I am Q. So, for all that the left and the rhinos have told us about how the way to hand over the election to the Dems, it was to run Donald Trump. They said that the right had a MAGA problem, that the right had a Donald Trump problem, and all of that may be true. We will see. But I will say to you that this morning, the left has a Kamala problem. So there's been all this talk amongst the brass, the elites within the Democrat Party of who they were going to run. Secretly behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out who's going to run in Biden's place. They know that Biden is aging. Based on the Her report that came out, he is senile and more than likely would not last another term. Health-wise, age-wise, there's a lot going against the guy. But that's kind of what happens when you decide to run a senile old man as president, and you get what you get. But the interesting thing about lies is that sometimes, most of the time, they come back to bite you. And Kamala has come back to bite them. Now, let me get something very clear and straight. I can't stand Kamala Harris on a personal level. One, because I've seen what she has done and how she got to her position. You guys remember Willie Brown and her essentially sleeping her way to the top of her position in San Francisco and in California. The mayor, we know the story. We don't have to rehash that. But even worse than that, as far as I'm concerned, the fact that this woman, in order to climb to the heights that she did in the state of California, jailed young black men, poor black men. Now, did they do wrong things? I'm sure they did. But you can't present yourself as being a fighter for justice when you are hiding exculpatory evidence that could have freed these men and sent them back to their families. When you are hiding evidence in order to keep them in jail so as not to ruin your perfect prosecution record. You can't come out and brag about doing drugs and listening to rap music. Meanwhile, you are putting people in jail for doing similar things in the state of California. It reeks of hypocrisy to me, and not something that I would want from my president. But I'm going to contradict myself, similar to the elites. I fully support Kamala's decision to stand strong. She has said that she is ready to take the office of the president. She's next in line, and she is ready to take her proper place. And you know what? I applaud her for that. Now, before you turn this video off, hear me out. This woman has a case for taking that position. Hillary Clinton, she's never been a vice president. She's never held a position like that. Yes, she was a senator, but so was Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was the most qualified person that they could find in the Democrat Party for the office of vice president. According to them, Michelle Obama, she can't claim to ever have held any office of meaning. Kamala Harris has been the vice president to the most popular ticket of all time. Remember? 85 million plus votes. I mean, obviously the people love Biden and Kamala. How could they possibly put her to the sideline in favor of anyone else? Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom's never run for office or run for president. Gavin Newsom isn't nearly as popular as the Biden ticket in the Biden administration. And how then could you sideline the first black vice president, female vice president, for a white guy from California? That doesn't work. We all know that it was a DEI hire. We all know that Biden chose to find someone who was going to be a black face for his administration. Let's be real about this. And he hoped that he had found someone too dumb to actually usurp his authority. But no, she played it perfectly. This woman is a person of very little moral consequence. She sat there and pretended to be the champion for black people. Meanwhile, she accused her boss of, well, before he was her boss, while she was running for president, called him, probably honestly, one of the most racist men she'd ever known. She called him a straight up racist on stage and then decided to go and work for him. So how principled is Kamala Harris really? Is she willing to do anything for a job? Now the left has to live with this, and it has to scare them as much as it scares us to think of someone with so little morals that they would go and work for a self-proclaimed racist and do whatever she had to do for the job. You have to wonder, what would she do if she had the power of the presidency? What would she be willing to sell out America for? She's been willing to sell herself. Would she not sell out the country? It's an interesting question. But all that being said, they have a huge problem. And I applaud her for standing up and forcing them to do what we know that they're going to have to do, and that's put her down. We know that it's coming. I'm just curious to see how they do it, because she does have a point. She is next in line. Comment below. I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think my analysis is crazy? I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you guys comment, and make sure you definitely subscribe. See you next time.